Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to be with you this afternoon. Not teaching you something here. I just want to share my experience with you, because telling you the truth, if I have to do it again, I don't know if I will be able to succeed. That's what all entrepreneurship is all about. It's taking risk and trying to survive. So, from the lift to the head, a businessman role. You will understand why this title, or where does it come from later on. So a bit about me, who am I? You know my name, Mathieu, I've been introduced so by Andrew, thank you. I'm 39 years old, I'm married with my wife who is over there. Hello darling. And I have 2 kids. I love talking, so perhaps it's going to be over 30 minutes, I'm not sure about it. I love sharing, and I love to undertake things. That's why also I think I'm here today. What do I do? I'm the CEO of VOL Group. What is VOL? It's a F&B company, hunting, Rouge, Mr&Mrs Bund, Ultraviolet, a new restaurant that we recently opened, Y2C2, and also a creative agency, which is in-house creative agency, which is Orbit Studio. We're trying to develop much more right now, expanding all our outlets within China and Asia. Why Shanghai, China for the last 9 years? Good question. In fact, I was in France working as the commercial director of a veterinarian laboratory. So you can see there's a lot of parallel with where I am today. And in fact, I used to work in LA and New York before in this kind of field, lifestyle field. And I was fed up with working with crazy people, changing their mind every day, and I wanted to work in something a little bit more serious, solemn, noble. So the veterinarian laboratory. And then after a couple of years I realized that those people, they were experts, telling you how to behave. I know that I know, and I couldn't stand this. Because for me, the only thing that I know is I know nothing. So I wanted to come back to my original roots, lifestyle, and to start knowing nothing again. And then I say, what would be the best location in the world to do it? And China. At this time, it was not, it was a little bit kind of an adventure to come here. And we've been very happy. We had the chance to have the possibility to take over Bond 18, the last floor. And that's why I came here. And I've been here for the last 9 years now. My story. As I was telling you, I'm not going to teach you anything here. I just want to share this story with you and pick up a few examples of success and failures. There's more success than failures, otherwise I will not be there in front of you today. So I arrived at the end of 2004, landing in Shanghai, Rouge, as a guest relation manager. We are a team. My wife over there, she was the boss. She was the director of Rouge. After a couple of months, she realized that it was not for her to work in the nightlife business. And also I realized that Rouge was setting up at this time as a lounge bar. Tea, cocktail. Was very nice, but if you want to pay the bill, specifically in Bond 18, the cost of, lease terms are very expensive for the rental. I had to change drastically the DNA of Rouge. So we moved from tea and cocktail to champagne rituals and celebration. I do have an example of these later on and will explain you. Then beginning 2005, the success. And for these I became Rouge director. We tried to craft a new nightlife standard within the city. And again, I will explain you, taking a few examples later on to share with you. Then 2007, 2008, you all know that the Bund was under renovation, was quite difficult. Then also, due to the success of Rouge, I've been promoted Yade director. Yade is a company which at this time was owning Rouge and Bund. For the people, some of the people I do recognize here being old friends and customers, they have been to Bund and Rouge, of course. I had to make a decision. Do I continue with Bund, operated by the Purcell's brothers, the twins, or do I need to take another direction? Once again, it will be one of the examples I pick up later on to discuss about this, about what it takes to be an entrepreneur and the 5 pillars you do need in order to succeed and sometimes to fail. As I'm telling you again, I don't have any recipe here. Then 2009, Mr&Mrs Bund came, crafting a new experience here again, but not for bar and restaurant, but for, not for bar and club, but for a restaurant. It has been a big success, but at the same time we studied at gambling, which had been a failure. And I think it's interesting to share with you all the success, but all the failure too, because it's part of who we are, and we don't have to be shy to share this kind of story with you. 2010, 2011, Ultraviolet. In fact, it's been open in 2012 exactly, but 1 year delay cost us $1 million. So it's an expensive project, but that's what I'm going to explain later on. We're not here to create money first. That's my vision. We're here to create value in order to create money later on. I think China is a market of opportunity which allows you to do that. In Europe, unfortunately today, or in the US, it will be impossible to set it up this way. And today, 2012, we try to consolidate the business through new venues such as Y2C2. We just also took over a new building on the Bund, Bund 5, just across Bund Street, you know, and where Glamour and Ham on the Bund is located, because we realized that we've been working very hard to promote Bund 18, being the operator of Mr&Mrs Bund by Rouge, but seriously, the company which makes much more money here, we're the property management of Bund 18 and the landlord. So we said, what about becoming a landlord yourself, taking over a building? So that's what we did. Tomorrow, tomorrow there's a big party in Rouge. I'm not here to promote Rouge. No, tomorrow is sustainability and prosperity. That's what we try to achieve. Sustainability is not only profit, is you know, good wealth, good health for people, and prosperity, it's the same, because I think that you do need more than money to succeed, and the gas, the energy, how to fuel people is, once again, I'm going to repeat it again, it's with motivation. And I think it's also one of the pillars of the entrepreneurship, to be a good entrepreneur and to succeed. So my entrepreneurship vision, the 5 key pillars, it is according to me. It's not a recipe, I'm not a teacher, but this is what I think. First, creativity. I will take, again, a few examples later on to say how creative we try to be within our operation and our outlets. 2, risk-taking. You need to take risk to undertake things. Otherwise, you're a manager. That's why also, you know, the best entrepreneurs are usually self-made men. If you go to very good schools, you're calculating too much and you don't want to take risks. That's one of the things which is really true. So it's a big challenge. 3, right people. People are everything. We're nothing without people. A good general without his army is going to face, going on the battlefield, is going to turn, and oh, nobody's behind. So this is very important. And also to share the same values with your people. Because if you don't share those values, the people one day, they will stop. They say, no, I'm not interested in doing this anymore. So if you want to keep your people, it's not only about money, otherwise they will go somewhere else all the time. That's the game everybody's playing in Shanghai. I have a higher salary here, can you increase me? Eric, you will never be increased, I know where you are. We share the same value, that's why. And passion, number 4. I do everything with passion. I love doing things. I don't do the things that I don't like to do. So sometimes there is a big success and sometimes big failure, because when you are first full of passion, you don't want to listen too much sometimes. And you have to listen, of course, but sometimes you need to make sure that in order to succeed, you need to listen to your heart first. That's very important. And then finally, right timing. If you do things after or before it's too late, you need to catch the train on time. But this, I think that you all know this, so I'm going to now take a few examples of creativity. Taking a few quotes here. So first one from Stephen Covey. To be successful, we must live from our imagination, not from our memories. I think it's really true. Don't you think so? Yeah. You're sleeping, it's not normal. We're not creators of circumstance, we are creators of circumstance, Benjamin Disraeli. This is really true, and I will take a few examples of how creative we've been within a company. I could have taken here the example of UV, but I took it on the risk management, you know. I think it was a big risk, so I didn't want to put UV on the creativity. Creativity, when we landed in Shanghai in 2004, as I mentioned you before, we changed the positioning of Rouge, not being a lounge, not being a bar, not being a club, but something in between. We're the first one making pay the entrance fee at the beginning. Everybody told me, Matthew, you're doing this, it's never going to work. You don't know who you're talking to. You can have a very rich Chinese dressed like you know, countryside man, and it's difficult for that. And I say, okay, let's go, that's what we want to do. At this time I've been to the best place in town, which was Park 97. I went there and realized that everybody was drinking cognac, whiskey, very masculine way to party. And I say, okay, we need to create, to introduce something new, special within the city. And I said we need to be much more feminine, to bring this femininity touch within Shanghai. So we said, okay, let's focus on champagne. We're French, makes sense, and it's easier to drink 5-6 bottles of champagne rather than 5-6 bottles of cognac or whiskey. Right, Luke? You agree?